All right, yesterday we talked about solving radical equations. If it was a square root, we squared both sides. We solved, whatever. When it's a square root, what do we have to check to make sure of? Okay, got to get the radical by itself. But once you do get it by itself, if it's just a square root, not any other root, what do we have to do with our answers?
Check it.
We got to check it. We got to plug them in to make sure that they work. If they don't, you just cross them off. They're called extraneous. You only have to do that with square root. Fourth root, fifth root, those ones you don't have to go back and check. So today we're going to talk about this bottom section. If the expression has a rational exponent. All right, let's remember what the word rational means. Rational is a grown-up word for what? Fraction. This is going to have a fractional exponent. We all don't love fractions. I know. I'm going to show you how to deal with this. It's really not as bad as it appears. It says to raise the power of the least common denominator of all exponents. Then you're going to simplify and solve. What I'm going to tell you to do is to raise to the reciprocal. Raise the reciprocal. What does the word reciprocal mean? Show me with your fingers what the reciprocal fraction looks like. Flip, okay? So think about flip. All right, another thing I want you to remember, write this down. Even roots for like square root, fourth root, sixth root, whatever, plus or minus in front of your answer. You'll understand why I say that in a minute, but remember, if you take the even root of something, the square root, the fourth root, something, you have to put plus or minus in front of your answer. So let's look at what an example would look like here. All right, look at this first one. Do you see how you have a fractional exponent? Yes or no? Okay, what this is saying, you don't have to write this down, but what this is saying is, if I were to rewrite this as a radical, what does this number become? Where does it go if I was going to rewrite that as a radical? It becomes the what? It becomes the root. So this would be the fifth root. You don't have to write this down because we're not going to do it like this. The fifth root of x minus 3 squared. And this would be the fifth root of what? 4x. All right, so we're going to not deal with putting it into radical and then solving like that. We're going to go right from our rational to solving. So this is what it's going to look like. All right, we're going to raise to the reciprocal. Which number is bigger, 2/5 or 1/5? 2/5, okay, that's what we're going to deal with. What would your least common, how do I want to say this? Let's just go with the one that's bigger. We'll say that. Do you guys agree with me that 2/5 is bigger than 1/5? Okay, so I'm going to raise this side to the reciprocal. So what's the reciprocal of 2/5? 5/2, right? And then what you do to one side, you have to do where? To the other side, okay? When you guys raise a power to a power, what do you do to those two things? They're going to cancel because what are you doing? You're multiplying, right? So if I were to multiply these two together, what's 2 times 5? 10 over 2 times 5 is 10. So they cancel out, right? So this leaves you with x minus 3 equals, raise your power to a power. This becomes 4x to what? 5/10, which is 1/2, okay? Now we got one of our fractions to go away. Now we can write this as a radical. What does this 2 become? Becomes the square root. So you have x minus 3 equals the square root of 4x. Now this is an exact problem that we did yesterday. You have one radical and it's on one side. What do? You're going to square it. If I square this side, what do I have to do to this side? Square it. So when you square a square root, you just have 4x. And then what does x minus 3 quantity squared mean? It's x minus 3. Good. It's 2x minus 3. So what are we going to end up doing right there? FOILing. X times x is x squared. X times negative 3, negative 3x. Negative 3 times x, negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 3, plus 9, equals 4x. Can we combine anything? Okay, so x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals 4x. What kind of a problem do we have, guys? A quadratic, like we did yesterday. So go ahead and move everything to one side. Minus 4x minus 4x. X squared minus 10x plus 9 equals 0. 3 ways we can solve this quadratic formula: completing the square or factoring. Which one's the easiest one? What should we try first? Factor. All right. Are there factors of positive 9 that multiply to give you 9, but add to give you negative 10? Yep. What kind of 9? What kind of 1? Negative, negative. Good. So what are your two x values, guys? Positive 9, positive 1. And there you go. All right, some of you are like, what? That's why we're going to practice. You have WebAssign practice. We have extra practice that Mr. Saldana gave, but you guys have to do it. If you get stuck on something, come ask me. Ask a friend. It does not help if I just do everything for you, because it always looks much easier when I do it up here. I know. That's kind of how that works. All right, go ahead and change this problem here and make it a little simpler. What do you notice about this one? How many variables do you see? Just one. Whenever we have one variable, we always say, you know what, let's just try to get this by itself. If you didn't do it like this, it's okay. There's a bunch of different ways to do this. I'm just going to try to do it the easiest way. How would I get x to the 3/4 by itself? I'm going to divide both sides by 3, okay? So divide by 3, divide by 3. I get x to the 3/4 equals, what's 81 divided by 3? 27. Okay, good. Now I have a rational exponent, right? How do I get rid of that rational exponent? I raise to the what? Raise to the reciprocal. So what is the reciprocal? What's the flipped over version of 3/4? 4/3. So what you do to one side, you're going to do to the other. So when I multiply, guys, right here, 3/4 times 4/3, what happens? It cancels, just becomes 1. So you have x equals. Now we're going to write this as a radical. We're going to write this as a radical. The first thing I'm going to do is remind myself that that 3 comes here. So what does that become? The cube root of what? 27 to the 4th power. What you need to do, guys, in this case, you need always to simplify the root first. All right, I had some people in my Algebra 2 honors class. They wanted to raise 27 to the 4th power first and then find a number that multiplied by itself 3 times to give you that. Is that the best idea? No, you always want to simplify the root first. That's why I put it in parentheses. What is the cubed root? Am I taking an even root or an odd? It's odd, so do I have to worry about plus or minus? No. So what number times itself 3 times gives me 27? So this is 3, and then I raise it to what power? To the 4th power. So what is my answer? 81. How do you undo rational exponents? We're going to say we raise to the reciprocal. It's the easiest way to look at it. And again, you guys, you have to practice this. Not put it in ChatGPT and throw it into WebAssign. That's not going to help you guys. 20% of your grade is homework. 50% of your grade is tests, correct? So what would make more sense? To understand how to do it so you can apply it to the test, not just get all hundreds on your homework. Let's look at this one. Change it a little bit. What do we notice about this one? How many variables do you see? Just one. So I'm going to circle it, and I want to get that variable all by itself. So how would I do that? Add 4. Perfect. So x to the 2/3 power equals what? 4. I have x raised to a fractional exponent. How do I get rid of that? You raise to the what? Raise to the reciprocal. What is the reciprocal of 2/3? 3/2. What you do to one side, you're going to do where? To the other side. When I multiply these two together, what is 2/3 times 3/2? What's 2/3 times 3/2? 1. Okay. So you have x equals. Now, excuse me, how am I going to write this? I'm going to write it as the square root, right, of 4 cubed. What kind of a root am I taking, an even or an odd one? Even. So what has to go in front of this? Plus or minus. So what you're going to do is say, okay, I have positive square root of 4 cubed, and I also have the negative square root of 4 cubed, because 2 times 2 is 4, and negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. We put the house on, so that's why you have to have the plus or minus. That only happens when your index, when the little number, your denominator of your fraction, if you want to think of it that way, is even. So guys, x equals what on the left-hand side? 8, and x equals what on the right-hand side? Negative 8. Good.
You have to write both on the equation. Can you start plus minus?
Plus minus is fine. Yeah, if you wanted to say x equals plus minus 8, that's okay too.
We'll just, I'll just make it up.
Yeah, they don't have a plus minus button. But guys, now is the time, right? I'm giving you time to work. It's not a time to play games and stuff like that. Actually work on this. I'm going to put the dates up of your next tests and quizzes. Been tweaking calendars and stuff like that. I'm going to put them up now so you guys are aware. It should be in Canvas, all that stuff. But stay on top of things. All right? Stay on top of things.